Good day, guys. I'm hoping to see more people. Good afternoon or good evening, wherever you are. This is tutorial session 3. And like I said, this is a self-help session where I'm helping students from grade 7 to 9. This session is for students from grade 7 to 9. And I'm going to be helping them with their maths topic, science topic. Even students from grade 10 to 12 can also join this session, but the priority is grade 7 to 9. Anybody who puts question first in the comment section is who I'm going to start with. Hopefully we'll get some people in. Okay, there's one somebody has joined. Yeah, Uncle Sam, I see you. Thank you for joining. Thank you for joining the live stream. Thank you for joining the live stream. I hope that we'll see many students coming in. And this priority of this live stream is for students from grade 7 to 9. Students who want to work on their maths assignments. Maybe they have some assignment on any science topic. And anybody that wants to drop their question should put it in the chat box. So when you put it in the chat, I'm going to answer the question according to the priority at which it comes in. So the first person to drop his question will be the first person I'm going to start with. So yeah, I can see 2 people now. I think somebody has also joined too. Big ups. Anybody once you join the live stream, you can put on the comment section. Just put your name so that I know who joined, and I know Uncle Sam is here already. So I'm just waiting for more people to come, and I'm going to be sharing my whiteboard very soon. I'll be sharing my whiteboard very soon. So I'm just going to be starting with any topic. I will start with any topic. I'm going to be starting with Okay, yes, this is Dominion and Oba joining. Good. That's good. Big ups to Auntie White. Big ups to Auntie Tokwe. Thank you, ma, for putting Dominion and Oba to join the live stream this evening. I appreciate you, ma. Yes, Penny is here. Okay, Penny is here. Good job. Penny says wonderful live stream. Good. So, Penny, this is for your session. Penny is in grade 8, so this session is from grade 7 to 9, and I'm going to start with simple interest, because I know that's one topic that students in grade 8 does, simple interest. So I'm just going to share my whiteboard. Let me just share my whiteboard so that we can start the session. We don't have to wait for other people. When they come, they'll follow through the live stream. So let me share my whiteboard. So I will share my whiteboard on this. Let me select a tab to share. Select a tab. No, let me share my window. Okay. Yes. So I'm going to share. Let me share my whiteboard. Okay. So I have my whiteboard on now. If you can see my whiteboard, you can just give me a thumbs up on the comment section. If you can see my whiteboard, give me a thumbs up on the comment section. And if you cannot see my whiteboard, you can just say no. Just type no if you cannot see the whiteboard. So I'm sharing the whiteboard now. If anybody cannot see the whiteboard, if you can't see the whiteboard yet, you just type no. And if you can see the whiteboard, you give me a thumbs up. Just give me a thumbs up so that I know that for those who can see the whiteboard already. Let me see. Let me go to the chat box. Let me see. Okay, good. Penny said you can see it. Let me go back to the whiteboard. Okay, so we are going to start right now. I'm going to start with simple interest. So we'll start with simple interest. And we know that the formula for simple interest now, there are three terms that we use in simple interest. Normally, when we write simple interest, we use SI to signify simple interest. Okay, we use SI to signify simple interest. And when we are dealing with simple interest, we talk about three parameters. That's P, which is the principal. Okay, R, which is rate, and T, which is time. Most of the time is always in months or years. Okay, so and the formula for simple interest is SI equals to PRT over 100. SI is equals to PRT over 100. So now let's start with one example. Example one. And also, or sometimes you can be asked for the amount, to find amount too. And the formula for amount is the principal plus the simple interest. Okay, that's the formula for amount, the principal plus the simple interest. Okay, and if now I'm going to start with one example. I'm going to start with one example. So now, for example, if a student invested money with $300, okay, the student invested money with $300, and the interest rate is 5%. Okay, the interest rate is 5%, and the money is expected to grow within 24 months. Okay, within 24 months. What is the simple interest? So what is the simple interest? Okay, so in this case, we are given the amount invested. The amount invested is like the capital, and the capital is the principal. So that's the principal. The amount invested is the principal, which is $300. Whenever you are given a question that has to do with simple interest, and they talk about the term invested, that's same thing as capital. That's the principal. Okay, and they say the interest rate, that is R, which is 5%, and they say the money is expected to grow within 24 months. We know that 24 months, we know that 12 months is equals to 1 year, right? 12 months is equals to 1 year. So 24 months will be equals to 2 years, because that's 2 times 12. Okay. So now we have to find the simple interest. We know that the simple formula for simple interest is PRT over 100. SI equals to PRT over 100. And the principal is $300. The interest rate is 5. The time is 2 years, and over 100. So this 20, we cancel this 20. So 3 times 5 is 15. 15 times 2 is 30. Okay. Let me stop sharing. So let me go back and share again. I'll share my screen again. So I'm coming. Let me share. Okay. So can we see my board now? So sorry for the other time. I didn't know that you were not seeing the board. Can we see my board now? You can give me a thumbs up if you can see the board right now. Let me go. Let me check the comment section. Let me see. Okay, Penesevi, you can see the cover. Okay, thank you, Uncle Sam. Okay, so now the simple interest is 30 in this question. So sorry if you guys missed any steps on my explanation. So I said in the beginning of the question, I said whenever we are given a question and you see the term invested means principal in the question. Okay, so and that means the principal is $300 in this question, and the interest rate is R, which is 5%. The interest rate is R, which is 5%. And it says the money is expected to grow within 24 months. We know that 12 months is equals to 1 year, and 2 times 12 is 24. So that will be 2 years. So in this case, we have to find the simple interest. So now we know that the formula for simple interest is PRT over 100. So that's 300 times the interest rate times the time divided by 100. So when we get it, we know that our simple interest is $30. Okay, our simple interest is $30. I'm going to give more examples. I just want to grab something real quick. Just give me I'll be back in 30 seconds. Okay, I'm back. So I'm going to do another example on simple interest. So the next example I'm going to do, number 2, is calculate the simple interest. Calculate the simple interest on $5,000. Sorry, let me write it on the other side. On $5,000 at 11.5% per annum. Okay, for 4.5 years. That's 4 years and 6 months. Okay. So now this is calculate the simple interest. And it says on $5,000. $5,000 is the principal. Okay, we have $5,000 as the principal. And it says at 11.5%. That's the interest rate. R is equals to 11.5%. 11.5%. I said the time is 4.5 years. So now this 4.5 years, let me this is a mixed fraction. So let me convert it to a proper fraction. So that's 4 times 2 is 8 plus 1 is 9. So that would be 9 over 2. Okay. So we know that SI is equals to PRT over 100. And the principal is 5,000 times the interest rate is 11.5%. And then the time is 9 over 2. So 9 over 2 over 100. So in this case, in order for me to avoid any confusion, whenever I have like a fraction at the numerator, and I just do what is at the denominator of the fraction to be multiplied with the denominator of the whole of the entire fraction, because we can call this an entire fraction. It's not a fraction, but in this case, well, let's just look at it as an entire fraction. So these two, I'll multiply with 100. So now I'll write it this way: 5,000 times 11.5 times 9 over 2 times 100. Okay, it makes it much easier. So what I do is that I cross out the zeros so that it makes it much easier to solve. So these 2 zeros, we cancel these 2 zeros on top. So 50 divided by 2 will give us 25. So now we have 25 times 11.5 times 9. Okay, so if we punch that in the calculator, we should get 2,587.5. 2,587.5. Okay. So I'll move on to the next question. I want to move on to something that's a little more difficult. I don't want to have all the examples so easy like that. So now the next example, we're going to be looking for amount. That's A. So now I'll give another example. It says Jack lent his sister $1,250, okay, at 12% per annum, simple interest. Okay, he says she repaid him after 3 years. She repaid him after 3 years. He says, how much did Jack receive? How much did Jack receive? Okay, so in this case, he lent his sister the principal, which is P, is $1,250. Okay, and it says at an interest rate of 12%. So R is 12% per annum. And it says he repaid him after 3 years. The time is 3 years. It says, how much did Jack receive? So we are looking for the amount that Jack received. That's what we don't know now. But we know that the formula for amount is principal plus simple interest. So we have to find the simple interest because we are not given in this question. We find the simple interest, we'll be given the principal. So when we add it up, we'll get the final amount that Jack received. Okay. So we know that SI is equals to PRT over 100. So that will be 1,250 times 12% is times 12 times 3 over 100. Okay, sorry, over 100, not 1,000. So this 0 we cancel this 0. So 2 can go in 10, 5. 2 can go in 12, 6. Okay, so 5 can divide 125. 5 divided by 125 divided by 12 is 2, remainder 2. 25 divided by 5 is 5. So 125 divided by 5 is 25. So we have 6 times 3 is 18. So we have 25 times 18. So if we do 25 times 18, we should get $450. Okay, so that's $450. So now to determine how much Jack receive, then we'll add principal plus the simple interest. So that will be A equals to, the principal is 1,250 plus the simple interest is 450. Okay, so we have 1,250 plus 450. That will be equals to $1,700. $1,700. So that's it for that question. Let me go to the chat box. Let me see if there's anybody that wants to drop any question on the chat box. So if anybody has any question on the chat box, you can drop it. If not, if we don't have any question, I will just keep going and I'll keep explaining. So let me just go back to my whiteboard. Okay. So now another question. This one is not going to be too tricky, but this one says calculate the value of an investment. Calculate the value of an investment of $160 at 9% simple interest. At 9% simple interest per annum for 36 months. So calculate the value of an investment of $160 at 9% simple interest per annum for 36 months. So in this case, the first example I talked about was that I said when I given a terminology where we have invested in, that's talking about the principal. But in this case, this question is different. Now, in the way the question was worded, it says calculate the value of an investment of $160 at 9% simple interest. That means it has given us the simple interest already. So in this case, $160 is not the principal, it's already the simple interest. The way the question was worded, it might sound tricky, but it already put in it has been put in the question that $160 is the simple interest. So now, in this case, we put that SI is $160. Okay, and the rate of the simple interest is 9%. Okay, and then the time that is given is 36 months. I said that 12 months is equals to 1 year. So 36 divided by 12, 36 divided by 12 is 3. So we have 3 years. That's 3 years. Okay. So now in this case, we are asked to find the value of the investment. The value of the investment is the principal. We have to look for the principal. Okay. We've been given the simple interest already. So I told you that whenever we have to find investment, we have to find the principal. So now we know that SI is equals to PRT over 100, but we have to find P. So now in this case, let's make P subject to formula. I know I've done subject to formula before. And if we want to make P subject to formula, what we can do is that we have an equal sign between these two. And this is a fraction. What we do, we can cross multiply. So that will be PRT is equals to 100 SI. Okay. So we have PRT equals 100 SI. If we have, in the case we have 2x equals to 10, we know that x will be 10 divided by 2 equals to 5. And this is the term we are looking for. So in this case, it will be P is equals to 100 SI over RT. Okay, over RT. So that will be 100 times the simple interest is 160. Okay, the rate is 9 and the time is 3 years. So we have 100 times 160 is 16,000. Okay, that's 16,000. 9 times 3 is 27. So if we do 16,000 divided by 27, our final answer should be 592.59. Okay, so this is the principal. This is the principal. Okay, so I'm going to do one more question. This one we're going to be looking for the time. We're going to be looking for the time in this question. So the next question says, Mr. James invested $500 at 70 number 1/4% simple interest. Simple interest for a certain period. It says if he has $1,000 at the end of the investment, how long did he invest his money for? How long did he invest his money for? So the solution is, it says Mr. James invested $500. So invested, you already know that's talking about the principal. The principal is $500. Okay, interest rate is R equals to 7 number 1/4. So let me just make this one a proper fraction. So that would be 7 times 4, 28 plus 1, 29. So that would be 29/4% for a certain period. It says if he has $1,000 at the end of the investment. So $1,000 is going to be, I believe, is going to be the amount. Okay. 1,000 amount is $1,000. No, sorry, the simple interest is $1,000. I'm sorry about that. So the simple interest is $1,000. Okay. It says how long did he invest his money? So the T is time. T is time. So now we know that SI is equals to PRT over 100. But now we're looking for time. So let's make time subject to formula. Let's cross multiply. So we have 100 SI is equals to PRT, and T will be equals to 100 SI over PR. So now we are looking for the time. Time is equals to 100 times 1000 times the principal is 500. The rate is 29/4. Okay, these two, we cancel this 20. Okay, so now 1000 divided by 5. Let's do 1000 divided by 5. That's 200. Okay, that's 200. So now we have 200 divided by 29/4. So now in this case, I'll write it like this: 200 divided by 29 times 4. And when we are given division like that, when we are going to change this to multiplication, so 4 goes up, 29 goes down. So that will be 200 times 4/29. 200 times 4 is 800 divided by 29. So let me punch that in the calculator. We have 800 divided by 29. That will be 27.6. Okay, that will be 27.6 years. So it's going to take 27.6 years to be able to get that amount. Okay, so that's it for that question. So if I do 27.6 years, so that will be 27 plus 12 months is equals to 1 year, plus 6 divided by 12. So 6 divided by 12. This will be 1/2, right? So that will be 27 years and 6 months. Okay, 27 years and 6 months. So I'm going to do one more question. Before I move to another topic. I'm going to do one more question. Let me check the chat box. If there's anybody that has any question on the chat box. Okay, there's no question on the chat box. Okay, that's okay. So let me go back to my whiteboard. So now I'm going to do the last question before I move to something else. It says, Mr. Prince wants to buy a flat screen television. Okay, Mr. Prince wants to buy a flat screen television set. He takes out a loan of $3,000 at 12% per annum for 2 years. Question says calculate the simple interest. And the total amount she owes after 2 years. Okay. So the solution is SI is equals to PRT over 100. Okay. So in this place, and we have to find the simple interest in this case. Okay. So it takes out a loan of $3,000. That's the principal. That's 3,000. Okay. The rate is 12%. The time is 2 years. Just calculate the simple interest and the total amount she owes after 2 years. So SI is equal to 3,000 times 12 times 2 over 100. So this 20 will cancel this 20. So 12 times 2 is 24. So we have 30 times 24. So if we do 24 times 3, let's do 24 times 3. 24 times 3 is 12. Write 2, keep 1. 3 times 2 is 6 plus 1, 7. So 30 times 24 is 720. So the simple interest is $720 after 2 years. So this will be the total amount. This will be the total amount you will owe after 2 years when the money has accrued already. So this is the simple interest, but we have to find the total amount. Sorry, the total amount is the principal plus the simple interest. So if you want to know the total amount she owes after 2 years, that will be 3,000 plus 720. And 3,000, if we do 3,000 plus 720, that will be 3,720. So the amount she owes after 2 years will be 3,720. So that's it for that question. Okay. So that's it for that topic. Let me see on the chat box. Let me see if there's any question. If there's any question, you guys can put any question. Okay. So I'm just going to continue with I want to do another topic now. I want to do Pythagoras theorem. So most of the topics I'm doing are mostly grade 7, 8, and 9 topics. Okay. So I'm going to now we are done with simple interest. So anybody that's on live that if you have seen the explanation on simple interest and you saw some of the questions we've done already. So I'm just going to do Pythagoras theorem now. So Pythagoras theorem. So Pythagoras theorem. And for example, we are given a right angle triangle. We have 3 sides of the right angle triangle. The longest side, which is the side facing this angle, this is a 90-degree angle. So the longest side facing this angle is called the hypotenuse. Okay, this is the hypotenuse, and any the angle facing this place is opposite. The side facing that place is opposite, and then the last part is always the adjacent. Okay, so the hypotenuse, we have opposite, we have adjacent. So now we can be given a question that proof that 6 plus 8 is equals to 10. We already know that 6 plus 8 is equal to 14. If we want to prove that 6 plus 8 is equal to 10, we can prove this by Pythagoras theorem. Okay, we want to prove that 6 plus 8 is equal to 10. Now, sorry, let me draw it properly. We want to prove that 6 plus 8 is equal to 10. Now, let's assume this place is 6, this plus is 8. We are looking for x. And I told you that in Pythagoras theorem, we have it that the hypotenuse squared is equals to opposite squared plus adjacent squared. If it's opposite we are looking for, it will be opposite squared is equals to hypotenuse squared minus adjacent squared. If it's the adjacent side we are looking for, it will be adjacent squared is equals to hypotenuse squared minus opposite squared. Okay, so that's it for Pythagoras theorem. So now in this case, we have to find x squared. So x, this side is the hypotenuse. So that'll be x squared is equals to 6 squared plus 8 squared. Okay, so we have x squared. 6 squared is 36. 8 squared is 64. Okay, so if we do 36 plus 64, we get 100. So if we find the square root of 100, the square root of 100 is 10, right? So in this case, we have proved that 6 plus 8 is equals to 10. Okay. So let's do another one again. Let's prove that, let's prove that 6 plus 4, 3 plus 4, prove that 3 plus 4 is equals to 5. If we want to prove that 3 plus 4 is equals to 5, let's draw the right angle triangle out. We draw a right angle triangle. 3 plus 4 equals to 5. We have 3. We have 4. This side will be x, hypotenuse. So we can make it x squared is equals to the opposite squared is 3 squared plus 4 squared. Okay, we have x squared. 3 squared is 3 times 3 is 9. 4 squared is 16. So x squared, 9 plus 16 will give us 25. So let's find the square root of 25. X is equals to root 25. And the square root of 25 is 5. So therefore, we say that 3 plus 4 will give us 5. Okay. Let me go. Let me see if there's any question on the... Okay, somebody's asking what is Pythagoras theorem. So Pythagoras theorem has to do with a right angle triangle in where you are given like 3 sides. And the Pythagoras theorem is kind of related to trigonometry. In Pythagoras theorem, Pythagoras theorem proves that the hypotenuse squared is equals to the opposite squared plus the adjacent squared. So for example, let's say we are given 2 perfect squared, like 3 and 4. If we are given two numbers that will give a perfect square, when we are finding the square root of the hypotenuse, we'll get an answer that is perfect, that does not contain any decimal point. Okay, so Pythagoras theorem states that hypotenuse squared is equals to opposite square plus adjacent square. So that's for the question. I believe it's either Dominion or Oba that's asking that question. So that's the question. I know that's not your grade. I know that should be Dominion. Maybe Dominion is in grade 2. So Dominion is probably not used to Pythagoras theorem, but I know once you get to that level, once you get to that level, you understand it better. But what Pythagoras theorem states that the hypotenuse squared is equals to opposite squared plus adjacent squared. And I hope that your question has been answered. So I'm going to do more examples on Pythagoras theorem. I'm going to do more examples on Pythagoras theorem. I'm going to look for some questions that we can do. Let me look for some questions we do on Pythagoras theorem. I wish that people will be asking. I wish that people from grade 7 and from grade 7 to 9 will be asking me questions, so that we can do more problems. So I'm just looking for exercises on Pythagoras theorem. Okay. So let me go back to my board. Okay. So now, for example, so in this case, we are going to be having some numbers that we have some decimal points. It says find each missing length to the nearest tenth. Okay, so the one we are given right now, four and 8. So I just want to share this link to somebody real quick. I'm coming. Just give me a minute. Okay, let me just go back to my screen. Okay, so I was just trying to share something real quick. So this question says find each missing length to the nearest tenth. Okay, so in this case, we see where the right angle is facing. That means this side is the hypotenuse. We can pick either side. This one could be opposite. This one could be adjacent. It doesn't matter whatever order we put it. But whenever we're putting the hypotenuse, we must know that it's the side facing the right angle. That's the longest side on the right angle triangle. So in this case, the hypotenuse squared is equals to opposite squared plus adjacent squared. Okay, so the hypotenuse squared is equals to 4 square plus 8 squared. Okay, so 4 squared is 4 times 4 is 16, and 8 times 8 is 64. So 64 plus 16 is 80. 64 plus 16 is 80. So with the hypotenuse, now the hypotenuse, it will be square root of 80 now. So we know that the square root of 81 is 9. So in this case, if we are doing the square root of it will probably be 8.9 something something something. Also, I don't know if some people in grade 7 to 9 will probably have heard about SOD. If we have to and if we have more time before the live stream ends, I will still talk about SOD, because SOD is also a topic that is done by grade 8 and 9 students. So for 80, I can do 80 as 20 times 5, or I can write it as, I know 16 can go in 80. 80 divided by 16 will give us 5. No, 20 times 5 is 100, so it should be 16 times 5. Sorry. So it's 16 times 5. So in terms of SOD, if we have to do this if we have to do it in terms of SOD has to do with two rational numbers, where one has a perfect square and the other one does not have a perfect square. Like this, in the case of root 80, we have split it into root 16 times 5. So that would be the square root of 16 times the square root of 5. The square root of 16 is 4. We don't 5 is not a perfect square, so it will be 4 root 5. Okay, so in this case, the hypotenuse is 4 root 5, and we can also punch it in the calculator. If we punch it in the calculator, we punch root 80, it's going to be 8.9 something something. But let me punch it first before I give the answer. So we have the square root on square root of 80. Sorry, I'm coming. Let me just point my calculator. The square root of 80 is equals to 8.94. 8.94. So that's the answer. So that's the answer for that question. So now I'm going to do another example again. I'm going to do another example. And the triangle will be like this. This is facing right angle triangle. This is 6. This is 3. So this is number 2. This is number 1. Okay, 6 and 3. So this is the hypotenuse. This is opposite. This is adjacent. Okay. So the hypotenuse squared is equals to opposite squared plus adjacent squared. Okay. So the hypotenuse squared is equals to opposite is 6 squared plus 3 squared. Okay. So 6 times 6 is 36. Okay. Plus 3 times 3 is 9. Okay. So hypotenuse is equals to 36 plus 9 is 45. So hypotenuse is equals to root 45. And if we do 45, 9 times 5 will give us 45. In terms of SOD, 9 times 5 is 45, right? So we can do the square root of 9 times the square root of 5. The square root of 9 is 3. 3 times root 5 is 3 root 5. So our answer is equals to 3 root 5. Or we can punch it in the calculator. We can punch it in the calculator. Second function, root 45. Root 45 will give us 6.71. 6.71. So that's it for that question. Okay. So we do another one, number 3. Number 3, we just do it like this. So this is 7, this is 10. This is 7, this is 10. Okay. You see hypotenuse squared is equals to opposite square plus adjacent squared. Okay. So we have 7 squared plus 10 squared. That's 49 plus 100. Okay. So the hypotenuse is equals to 149. So that's root 149. We know that the square root of 12 is 144. So if we do the square root of 149, that will be 12 point something, maybe about 12.2. I'm gonna check it on the calculator. 149. So that's 12.21 is equals to 12.21. Okay. So that's it for that question. So I want to do an example that contains opposite and adjacent. I want to do an example that contains opposite and adjacent. So I'm going to try one example now. So we have a case where the triangle is like this. Okay. Sorry, let me draw the triangle properly. The triangle is facing this way, and this side is 7.4. This side is 3.6. So let's assume that this is hypotenuse and this is opposite. So now we have to find the adjacent. I told you that hypotenuse is opposite square plus adjacent squared. And I told you that adjacent squared is equals to hypotenuse squared minus opposite squared. Okay. Hypotenuse squared minus opposite squared. So that will be the adjacent squared is equals to 7.4 squared minus 3.6 squared. So let me punch it in the calculator. If I'm to put 7.4 squared, will give us 54.76. And then we do 3.6 squared. We give us 12.96. So we have 54.76 minus 12.96. So we get 41.8. 41.8. So the adjacent is equals to the square root of 41.8. So 41.8 41.8. Square root of 41.8 is 6.5. So let's put that 6.5. So that's it for that question. So let me go back to the comment section. I always want to monitor the comment section to see if there's anybody that have any question there. Oh, okay. Okay, I can see Ronke here. I can see Ronke Alao here. He said I'm in grade 8, but I do not have a question. Okay, Ronke, yeah, is there any topic that you want me to discuss? Is there any topic that is in your mind that you want me to discuss? Is there any topic that you are struggling with in school that you want me to explain? Because I said that this session is a self-help session. I'm just seeing Ronke's question. Maybe she's put it out a long time ago. So Ronke, if you have any questions, just put it in the chat box. I might not sit on time, so I will just quickly go back to my screen again, and then I will come back to the chat box. But if you want any topic, okay, percentages, okay, good. So let's do a little. I will do one more example on Pythagoras theorem, and then we'll do percentages. Let me just go back to my screen, to my whiteboard. And when you're talking about percentages, is there anything specific? See, you know what? type a question on percentages on the chat box. Just type a question on percentage so I will know what you're talking about. If you want me to do like all those fraction that there you have to find the percentage of so and so, or if there's any word problem, like if you have any word problem on percentage that you want me to explain, you can put it on the comment section, you can put it on the chat box, so and so. You can just look for any question on percentage that you want me to work on, so that I can know what aspect you want me to talk about on percentages. Okay. So, but then I will go back to my whiteboard, and then I will do one more example on Pythagoras theorem, and then we'll do percentages. So I'll be waiting for your question. Okay. So we'll do one more example on Pythagoras theorem. So let me do this one. Number 5. We have sorry, let me draw it properly. We have 13.3 and 9.7. Okay. So we have the hypotenuse given already, and this is the opposite, and this is the adjacent. So we have to find the adjacent here. So we know that adjacent squared is equals to hypotenuse squared minus opposite squared. So that will be 13.3 squared minus 9.7 squared. 13.3 squared minus 9.7 squared. So let me punch that in my calculator. So 13.3 squared is equals to 176.89 minus 9.7 squared. We have 9.7 squared is equals to 94.09. So now let me subtract 176.89 minus 94.09. So that will be 82.8. So if we have to find adjacent, is equals to the square root of 82.8. Okay. Second function root 82.8. That's 9.1. So that's 9.1. Okay, let me see if Ronke has the question she wants to send me. Ronke, I haven't seen your question yet, but let me see if I can just go on percentages and just do something on percentages. Let me look for exercises on percentages. Exercises on percentages. I want to thank all the people that liked the video, that are liking the live stream. Thank you very much. Exercises on percentages worksheet. Okay, so I saw some simple question on percentages. Let me go back to my whiteboard, and then I will do some examples on percentages. So the first question I have with me is 10% of 0. Okay, so if we have to do 10% of 0, that would be 10 over 100 times 0. Anything multiplied by 0 is 0. Okay, so the answer will still be 0. Another one is 10% of 16. 10% of 16. So we have to find 10% of 16. That would be 10. So anything by percentage is always divided by 100. Anything by percentage is divided by 100. So that would be 10 over 100 times 16. So this 0 will cancel this 0. So that will be 16 divided by 10. So 16 divided by 10 will be 1.6. Okay. So that would be for that question. I will try another one. We have 60% of 22. 60% of 22. So that will be 60 over 100 times 22. 60 over 100 times 22. So this 0 will cross out this 0 here. So we have 6 times 22. 6 times 22 over 10. Okay, 2 can still go in 10, 5. 2 can go in 22, 11. Okay, 11 times 6 is 66 divided by 5. So if we do 66 divided by 5, we should be getting 13, about 13.2. 13.2 should be the answer for 66 divided by 5. Okay, so let's try another one. 80% of 36. 80. I will just do one more example and then I will do some word problems on percentages. 80% of 36. So we have 80 over 100 times 36. Okay. So this 0 will cross out this 0. 8 divided by 2 is 4. 10 divided by 2 is 5. Okay. So we have 4 times 36. So if we do 4 times 36, 36 times 4. 4 times 6 is 24. Write 4, keep 2. 3 times 4 is 12. Plus 2, 14. So we have 144 divided by 5. So 144 divided by 5, 14 divided by 5 is 2. Then remainder 4. Okay. 44 divided by 5 is 8. 40 divided by 5 is 8. Okay. We still have 4 left. 40 divided by under 5 is 8. So we have 28.8 is 80% of 36. Okay. So let me see if we can do a word problem on percentages. Percentages word problem worksheet. Okay. So now I've seen one example. An example says word problems on percentages. So the question says, number 1, in a school of 50 students, 60% are boys. So 60% are boys. There's how many? It says how many are boys? Okay. So it says in a school of 50 students, 60% are boys. Now it says how many are boys? How many are boys? So it says the total is 50 students. So it says 60% are boys. That would be 60 over 100 times 50. 60 over 100 times 50. So this 0 will cancel this 0. This 0 will cancel this 0. So that will be 6 times 5. 6 times 5 will be 30. So that means 30 are boys. Okay. 30 of the students are boys. So we are going to be ending the live stream very soon. It's supposed to be 5 to 6:30, but there's a meeting coming up in the church meeting coming up. So I'm going to do like 2 more questions before the live stream will come to an end. So one question says, if the number 245 is decreased by 60%, what is the value of the new number? It says if the number 245 is decreased by 60%, what is the value of the new number. So that will be 60%, sorry, 60 over 100 times 245. So this zero will cancel this zero. 6 divided by 2 is 3. 10 divided by 2 is 5. So 245 divided by 5. 24 divided by 5. 5 times 4 is 20. By 4. 45 divided by 5 is 9. So we have 3 times 49. So if we do 49 times 3, 3 times 9 is 27. Write 7, keep 2. 4 times 3 is 12 plus 2 is 147. So that's 147. So if the value is decreased by 1, so now if it says the number is 245. So now I say what's the value of the new number that is decreased by? So we'll do 245 minus 147. So if we do 245 minus 147, this is 1. Sorry, let me just punch this in the calculator. Sorry, because I want to live in the hurry. 245. I think 245 minus 147 is 98. I don't need to be doing that. It's 98 without. So that's 98. Okay. So I'm going to do one more question before I call it. Before I wrap up the live stream. Let me just do one more question before I wrap up the live stream. It says, Amy bought a jacket for $50. I'm coming. I'm almost done. Said that you do 5 to 6. Yes, so for now, okay. The last question I'll do, I'll end the live stream. Okay. Yes, ma'am. So it says Amy bought a jacket for $50, and if she paid an additional 25% for sales tax, how much in total did she pay for the jacket? How much in total did she pay for the jacket? Okay, this Amy bought a jacket for $50. She paid an additional 25% for sales. How much in total did she pay for the jacket? So let's do 25% of $50. So that'll be 25 over 100 times 50. Okay, so the zero will cancel this zero. So 5 divided by 10 will give us 2. So we have 25 divided by 2. 25 divided by 2 is 12.5. Okay, so now we're going to be adding 12.5 to 50, because the question asks is how much in total did she pay for the jacket. It says they are adding another additional sales tax on it. So that will be 50 plus 12.5. So that will be in total $62.5. Okay. So that's it for that question. Let me go back to see who is still on the live stream. So, okay. Ronke talked about mixed fraction to percentages. So, Ronke, if you have any question, you can just send it to my email, because I'll be ending the live stream now. So that'll be the end of the live stream for today. And I appreciate all the people that came for the live stream to see what Mr. Prince have for the students. I appreciate everybody, and I hope that we all had a great time. And I hope for the questions I was not able to answer, next time I'll try my best to answer all the questions. So thank you very much. I really appreciate your time. God bless us all, and peace out. Bye.